Yay! Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's me. It's me, Mitch. Outside. The sun is out. It's warming up. Unbelievable. Oh, it's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've been out here. I like it. I like it, and welcome everybody to Morning Coffee with Mitch. And I have to get used to which buttons to click and push because this is different, and it's been so long. I may have forgotten. Unbelievable. Anyway, you guys know the drill. You know the drill. I'm a happy guy this morning. Hey, drink it. Drink it if you got it. Oh, wow. Just feels good to have that sun in my face. I took my glasses and my hat off and wandered around out back a little bit earlier, getting some of that morning sun, something that I haven't been doing a lot of lately. Wow. This is just natural light in here. I have no lights on anywhere, just the sun shining through this window on my face. I love it. Good to see you all this morning. Wow. Happy Sunday. Steve Studley says, Mitch looks great. I feel great. I'm just about completely over this pestilence and disease. And I'm loving this, and I'm dreading, unfortunately, the fact that in another week or so, what is it, a week or 2 weeks from this weekend, they're going to take it away from me again. They're going to go to that stupid daylight savings time, and it's going to get light an hour later. I wish they'd stop that. I know it's important to have more daylight at the end of the day for most people, but not for this old fart here. I like the morning sun, and it was just starting. The days are starting to get a little longer and starting to get a little light a little earlier, and bango, they're going to snatch an hour away. But hopefully by 9:30 daylight savings time, it'll still be bright and sunny out here, because this is where I want to be. This is where I want to be doing this morning thing. It is morning, after all. That's the whole purpose of this. Start our day. Look, get motivated a little bit. Drink a little coffee. Well, great to see you. Great to see everybody here. 74 of you so far. Wow, let me check to make sure that I did go live. Let me look at the, yes, it's streaming, and let me take a quick look at YouTube, at Rumble. I see United Carnivores here. Greetings from Tampa Bay, and Gary, no slows over in the Rumble chat. And I have to refresh. Yes, it is live on Rumble as well. Cool. I love it when it works. I hope you guys can hear me okay. If for some reason I don't have my audio as perfect as I like it to be, let me know in the chat if you would. Let me know, please. See, everybody's chatting away, chatting up a storm, waiting for you guys to come in. So I've been up for a while. This morning, and for the past hour and a half, I have been watching the replay of Kelsey and Curry's live stream from last night. Something I think I slept through. I wasn't there for the live. I almost felt like I should have been chiming in, because even though no two of us or three of us in this community agree on virtually everything, those two guys, no matter what you might think of their motives or how they do things, those two guys share more of my core beliefs about health, diet, carnivore, and all the things that we talk about than any other two people in this community that I've ever met. And when we get together, we feel like brothers, and I always feel that way, especially with Kelsey. He's such a warm, just terrific human being, and I admire so much about him and his energy, and I almost maybe even envy a little bit that he's in a position to be able to spread the word and do everything that he does. Whereas, not that I'm an elder statesman or anything like that, but I have 10 years on him, and 30 or God knows how many years I have on Curry. And my life is simply in a different place than theirs are. And even though when I see him out there, sometimes I feel a little left out, then I always go back to what I say about myself, and that is that I kind of try to keep to myself and do my own thing, and have people that follow me. And but the message is so important. And every time during this live stream I was watching them, I'm saying to myself, I should have been there. Maybe, I don't know if I would have been invited, but and I keep thinking about, maybe I do need to get out there more in this community. I've got a story too. You know, we all talk about our carnivore stories and all the interviews. Excuse me. They talked about Dave Mack and how he's about to do his 1000th carnivore interview. I don't do many interviews. Sometimes I feel like, well, most people have heard my story already, but the reality is that very few people have heard my story. You guys know my story. You follow me. You come here every morning for some support. You know that my thrust and my focus of my entire message is from an addiction standpoint. I've decided long ago that the addiction angle of not just carbs, but anything, has tremendous power over all of us, and is responsible for so much of the things that we can't control about our lives and our behavior, especially when it comes to food and diet. And I was very gratified in watching the replay from last night that Curry did touch on on addiction. And I think that that's important to always talk about when it comes to people that are just being introduced to this wacky lifestyle that we call carnivore. So I watched that whole live stream and I saw a lot of questions, a lot of good questions. I saw that the Mitch Fits were well represented in the audience last night. And I always get a kick out of seeing you guys chime in. And I saw so many people I know. I saw Seasai actually was in there towards the end and asked a question. And asked me questions too. I'm not a doctor, but neither is Curry. But we do know what we know about why this works. And other than, for example, Kelsey specializes in fertility. So any questions about fertility problems and slow swimmers, got a kick out of that one. He's the guy to ask. I do my thing here in the morning. You guys keep showing up. Very gratifying. It is. I've said this before and I'll always say this. This is the highlight of my day every day. I get as much out of doing this, hopefully, as you get out of being here with me. Don't ever think I don't appreciate the loyalty of this little group of misfits that we have, or Mitch Fits. And it's great. It's great. I don't have a big life. I don't travel. I don't do all that stuff. Maybe because I am older. But this to me is so important, and I'm so happy to see you here this morning. I really am. So drink it up. Drink up the coffee after you got it. Enjoy. If you have any sun anywhere in your neighborhood, get yourself out in it. Even if you have to bundle up a little to do so. Wow, it is February 23rd already. And this is a short month, so pretty soon it'll be March. Then it'll be March 21st, then it'll be springtime. And I saw on the news, they're already talking about the hurricane season. God, give us a break. We just got over that. Let me take a second here and say hi. Let me say hi to some of the early birds. First one in last night, Tanya, congratulations. She says first, yes, they didn't lose you today. And Terry Sue came in real quick. Damn it, she says, got beat again. Terry Sue says, I'll take silver. Glad to see that. Rick chimed in last night from Miami. How you doing to be working in the morning? Furl Grandma. Greg Smith. He doesn't know if he'll be here this morning, but he wanted to say good morning. Furl Grandma was in here last night at 7 something. Aunt V was in here. Congratulating Tanya. Lori. Damn it, Janet, I can't keep up. See you all in the AM. Hope you all come back this morning. Lady June chimed in at 2:30 in the morning, but of course she's over there in Europe, so it's already morning over there. Tuka chimed in the middle of the night. How you doing, Tuka? Bob Black chimed in at 3:07. Good morning. Meat Eaters. Good morning, Bob. How you doing? Mike Seeley chimed in this morning early at, holy cow, Michael, 3:57 a.m. Early riser, Lynn Gerber, 4:40. Anna, PLO7, hiya, Anna, good morning to you. At 5:17, Steve Studley, finally, 6 o'clock in the morning, a reasonable hour. Mike Seeley Sr. chimed in, how you doing? Good morning, Nikki W. How are you? Patty Molden Thomas chimed in. I chimed in. I couldn't wait. I usually wait until 5 or 10 minutes before, but it was so beautiful out here. I had to chime in and say good morning to all you as I enjoyed the sunlight. Enjoyed the sunlight this morning. Life is good. It's one of those mornings. Feels good to be alive. Even if I didn't get my plumbing finished yesterday. That's another story. Bryce Hatch. Bryce Hatch waiting for the Sunday sermon. Hallelujah. Yeah, just don't call me Pastor Mitch. That's all. Smoothie 420. How you doing? Good morning to you. Terry Sue was back this morning, as was B81 Mac. Anna PLO7 was here this morning at 9:17. Okay. Harry Dion. Top of the morning, Mitch and meatheads alike. Good to see you. And Rick did chime in this morning. Good morning. I'm still home. Stubbed my toe on an engine. God, Rick, I hate it when that happens. I don't often stub my toe on an engine, but could happen, I guess. Maybe a lawnmower engine. I don't know. Get the engine, get it in the car, Rick. Get the engine in the car where you're not likely to stub your toe on it anymore. Terry Sue chimed in this morning. Gas and egg prices are still neck and neck, it seems. Now that I'm driving my mom's car, I have to use Supreme gas. Oh, no. God, I didn't think they made cars anymore that needed high test. Wow. Retired Rick chimed in, says, good morning, Mitch Fitz. Aaron, Booby Goats is here first thing. Wayne Herman, good morning, Mitch and the Mitch Fitz from Lake Gaston, North Carolina. How you doing this morning, Wayne? Good to see you, my friend. Terry Sue. Rick, the grease video was cool last night. I could smell it. I missed that one. I can't watch them. I just can't watch all these videos. And 9:29, Tanya. A little early. The gang's all here. 9:29, B81 Mac. How you doing, Mac? And Gary Arzamendi. Good morning, everybody. One more minute. Yes. Where's the first at 8:30? Mac and Terry Sue and Lady June. Everybody's hitting the button. Nikki W. Lewis L. from New York. Saw you chiming in on Kiltsy's and Curry's live stream last night. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. And the winner this morning is Lewis L. Ding, ding, ding. Congratulations, Lewis. You were the first one, 9:30 in the morning. Start the show. Mac, Robbie Autry, Smoothie, Gary, Don Schonger, Lori all chimed in at 9:30. Terry, Sue, Bob, Black, Gary, No Slow, Lori again, Lewis L. again. Second time in that first minute. Edward Renner, good morning from San Diego. How you doing? Glad to see you up early out there. Mitch is on the porch. Ain't it great? I've missed it out here. I like sitting out here. I just like it. And it was a little chilly, but not too bad. It was in the 50s when I was setting this up this morning. And I got the sweatshirt on. No t-shirt underneath, no layers this morning, but this is plenty warm. And I don't know if you've noticed it yet or not, but the past couple of days I've been wearing a different hat. And this hat, if you can see it, let me lean in and let you see what it says. It says Grouper and Chips. That was my restaurant. 20 years ago. 20 years ago. 15 years ago, I actually had to close it. In 2000, well, even more than that, 2009, after that economy crashed like it did in 2008. We just couldn't make it. Not where we were. I've told that story many times. But I have lots of memoirs of my life, and I generally have hats from every period and everything I've ever done. I seem to have a hat associated with it, and I have maybe a half a dozen still of these Grouper and Chips hats. that we had made when we first opened the restaurant. So kind of a teary little bit of nostalgia for old Mitch here, thinking about it. I love that restaurant. I love that restaurant. I've shown you some pictures of me in the restaurant, stuffing my face full of food that didn't help my dieting and weight loss. That was a hard period in my life owning a restaurant. The food was fantastic, and maybe in most cases not the healthiest. Because back then, who knew that canola oil wasn't the healthiest oil for us? Who knew? We were told by everybody. In fact, the canola oil that I used to fry, that we fried our French fries, our grouper, fried grouper, the oil that we used was a very expensive canola oil, and they actually called it Nutra-Fry. Honest to God, you can't make that up. Nutra-Fry leads you to believe how, and it had big healthy things all over the box. They come in 5-gallon boxes. And God, did we go through some cooking oil? Who knew? Who knew? And that wasn't that long ago. And we served pasta like it was gone out of style. We had linguine. We served everything over linguine. We had sauteed grouper. We had all kinds of other fish. Everything had to be served over pasta. And we had a trio of vegetables that went with everything. The carrots, the zucchini, onion. And I ate that stuff like it was gone out of style and just kept putting on weight. And I thought what I was doing was really healthy. We thought we were really helping out in this world, providing all that healthy food. Turns out we were just as guilty of poisoning our customers as every other restaurant on the planet. I wish I'd have learned these lessons 50 years ago. God, how my life would have been different. I'm sure a lot of your lives would have been different too. But yes, I'm on the porch this morning. Sandy Blythe, good morning to you. Good morning to you. And Steve, still stumbling around looking for the butter. And will somebody please pass the salt and the butter to Steve already? Rick is still here. Terry Sue. We have Dan Taylor here chimed in at 9:32. Let's get some of these hellos out of the way, and then we'll get to business. If you have any questions for me, put QQQ in them. I'll try to keep up. With them. I saw on Kelsey's and Curry's live stream, they had a steady flow of questions. I imagine they had a pretty good turnout for that thing because I think they simulcast it on both Kelsey's channel and Curry's channel. The replay I watched was from Kelsey's channel. But I enjoyed watching it. I enjoyed watching two of my friends out there healing you, helping, trying to help heal humanity. Something that I think if any of us realized the actual magnitude of the task of that concept would tire us out. Sometimes it does me. You put the message out there, you work, and you wait to see some signs in the overall general population among the masses and the millions of this message actually getting past our community. And it is a battle. It is a battle. And the best thing that we can do individually is the only thing that I can do. And that is just stick my face out there. And anybody that'll listen, I'll tell them about it. What they do with it is out of my control, unfortunately. We can only serve as an example. They have to wake up one day and start looking into it on their own. We all know we've all tried to help people, especially our family, especially me. It's very frustrating sometimes. I can't even save the lives of my own 2 children. I can't do any more. I can't jam it down their throats. I can't, even though I've told them how many, many, many times. I can't seem to help them get over their addictions. It's the saddest thing in my life. And it's also the thing that drives me to keep pushing this addiction thing, because it hits me so close to home. Not only was it the bane of my existence for all those years, but the people that I love are slaves to it. Slaves. There's no other way to describe it, as food slavery. When I hear it mentioned by anybody else, I smile and I say, wow, somebody else used the A word, the addiction word. So the best I can do is not deviate too much from that message. Try to steer as many people towards recognizing why they're having the problems they're having. Ask me, well, how do you get over this addiction, Mitch? And then I just tell you the same story about how to get past that first month or two on carnivore, so that you have a shot at controlling that monster inside of you. That monster that thinks it has one day to live and needs to find sugar as its top priority every minute of every day. And I'll keep talking about that and keep reminding you all of that. I hope it doesn't bore you too much. But this is the message we need to be spreading, as important as all of these things that you need to know to execute this lifestyle. Coming to terms with why it's so important is the most important thing, I think. And it's something we need to start elevating to national attention, if that's even possible. I heard Kelsey say that he is going to be going on Joe Rogan. Perfect. That he's going to be hopefully talking to RFK Jr. Perfect. Talk about addiction. Talk about addiction. Without solving that problem, we will never solve the problem of healing humanity without addressing it as an issue of addiction, just like alcoholism and drug addiction. After all the efforts, all the public attention, all the money spent on, they're still not cured. They're still the biggest problems we have. And they pale in comparison to the problems of carbohydrate addiction, something that's still not even talked about in the public sphere. And the food companies keep doing their thing, and their scientists keep doing their thing to make sure that we stay addicted and become more addicted to their processed foods, their sugars and grains and seed oils, that their foods hit that bliss point that we simply can't live without, can't fathom the thought of giving up, because we gain what we perceive as so much of the pleasure that we get in life about it. And you've heard that from me before, and you're going to keep hearing it from me. And this is what I think we need to be talking about. Robbie Autry. Robbie, my friend, there are people out there looking after me. I'm outside. I'm outside. I know that some of you think this is disgusting, and why would you listen to me talk about health when I smoke cigars, when I puff on a cigar? And we've been through that, and you all love me, and I've tried to turn this into some entertainment. So let's do that. Let's do that. It's been a while, my friends. Been too long. First, a sip of coffee. A little happy music and those famous words that we've come to know and love. Excuse me while I light my cigar. Ah. Yes. 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 Me doing this out here in the morning without a cigar would be like George Burns doing a comedy routine without his cigar. And it's so relaxing. It is so relaxing. Excuse me. I hope to keep that nose wiping to a minimum, but it is getting better. It's getting better every day. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm in such a good mood today with this. It's going to be gorgeous here today. I'm going to go for a walk. I may even film something. It's something I haven't been doing for the past couple weeks, recuperating from this terrible thing. And I said that my plumber didn't come yesterday. And I was so excited about finally getting that job done. I seem to have a problem in this world of having people finish something that they start, especially when it comes to any work done on my house, my poor little house. And I'm all ready for him yesterday. I'm all excited about it. I talked about it yesterday morning. You know how important I want to finally get that one job done so I can get on to the next job that I need to fix. Because I have so much work I want to do on this house. And it's going to culminate with me actually repainting the whole thing on the outside, making it gorgeous and pretty. With no more roof leaks, no more plumbing problems. I've been attacking these things for years, and just getting somebody to finish the job that they start is the biggest challenge these days. And I have a guy. My guy did a great job, my plumber, reliable. And I worked around his schedule. And then he got the flu. And that put me back another week or two finishing. Then he came and got it almost done, right down to the home stretch, buttoning it up, re-insulating underneath my house. And he, on Monday or Tuesday, said, I will be there Saturday morning to finish. And I know that he has work he does during the week, and if he wants to work here on the weekends, that's fine with me. It makes no difference. So I finished my live stream and went looking because I didn't hear anything going on, and there was no plumber. So I called him on the phone yesterday afternoon. I gave him some time to get here, and he didn't show up. And I go, oh no, not again, not another one of these disappearing people that gets 90% of the job done and most of the money because I'm such a nice guy, and I should learn to never pay anybody until they're finished. But I feel for these people. They struggle. Nothing. I call him, no answer. And he's one of these people that texts and very rarely answers his phone. And he's got one of these things when you call and get voicemail, the voicemail box you've called is full. Sorry, try again. So I texted him last night. I said, hope you're okay. Let me know when you're going to be here. And I didn't hear anything yesterday. And I was fit to be tied. And about 45 minutes ago, I get a text from him, which I'm happy to know he's still alive. And he seemed, and he is, a nice guy, very responsible, cares about doing a good job, cares about living up to his word, but he got sick. So his text tells me that He's being discharged from the hospital today because of a kidney infection that he had. I said, oh, shit. And I was so happy to hear from him. And he said that he will be here next weekend on Saturday to finish. He needs to lay low for a while and heal up or whatever from the hospital. And I wished him the best and told him if he needs anything and I can help him in any way, not to hesitate to call me. But I'm so happy I heard from him that now I just hope he gets over this. And it's always something, isn't it? It's always something. Can't make plans. Every time you make plans to do anything, something always seems to come out of left field, like a bus, and run you over. Anyway, Robbie, you're my man today. Thank you. This one's for you. And who else we got here? Remember, put some questions in there for me. Give me something to talk about today. Terry Sue says the fresh light looks good on you this morning. Thank you. Thank you. I need to start getting my ass out in the sun. Starting to tan up a little bit. Been a gray winter here. Gray winter. Laurie says that's what's been missing. The porch. Yes, I love it out here in the porch. Seems like I've been exiled to that studio in the house every morning without this sunlight shining on me. Got it. It just feels so good. Bama, Jay is here. Good morning to you. Good morning. Tired Rick. Good morning. Somebody named Dolly. Hiya, Dolly. Hello, Dolly. Good morning from Pacific Northwest. Need to have sun on my face too. Rainy here. It's always rainy in the Pacific Northwest. I've been in Seattle a half a dozen times. I've never seen a blue sky or anything but clouds and rain every time I ever had to go to Seattle for anything. Summertime, wintertime, didn't make any difference. It was gray, cold, and rainy. Like London. Terrible. Claudia Burkick, how you doing? Good to see you this morning. Let me look and see. Do I have any show notes? I think I do. Graceful Lily says, good morning, Mitch, and all my beloved Mitch Fits. So great to see you all here this morning. Claudia says, I cannot wait for Curry's documentary, Healing Humanity. They still have years of work. That's the sad fact of doing these things. They have the real work. It hasn't even begun yet on that documentary. They've been filming. Curry's filmed, I think, 45 interviews. They didn't interview me, but that's okay. That's okay. No hard feelings. But it's a 3 to 5 year undertaking to make a legitimate film. And I mean a legitimate film, not just a YouTube interview, but a legitimate film. The editing is fabulously expensive. And Kelsey talks about how much money it takes. And he stepped up. Kudos to him. Kudos to you, Kelsey, for stepping up and helping Curry out. I think you've relit a fire under him. Because when you're making these things, the further, the old saying, the hurrier you go, the behinder you get. And the magnitude of the task and the amount of money that it takes to produce a professional film. And then, even after you've gotten through all that and everybody's donated and helped and believes in your cause, That's when the real work starts. And that is in the marketing and promotion of your film. Because if people can't make money in the entertainment business, if they can't monetize showing your film somehow, they have no incentive to fund it or to put anything into it. And that's where most of the documentaries, and there are plenty of great ones out there. So many great films have been made that have just died natural deaths because nobody had the incentive to promote them, because the subject matter was not something that the public is clamoring to see. And that's just a sad reality of the movie business. People want to see Captain America. People don't want to be told, unfortunately, that they're killing themselves, that everything that they believe is healthy to eat has been a lie. They don't want to know that. They're addicted. This is sad, unfortunate truth. They're addicted. Their addiction controls their lives. Their addiction is their source of what pleasure they have in life. Their addiction has caused illnesses, pain, and suffering, which they deal with on a daily basis and turn back. This is the ironic part. They turn back to that substance that gives them pleasure as the way to at least have some pleasure in their life, not realizing that they're being had and used and fed the crap that's making them sick, that's causing them to turn to that addictive substance for pleasure. And such is the bane of every addicted animal or human being on the planet. We become a slave to our addiction, and becomes our primary source of pleasure. And eating unhealthy food is where people turn for comfort. And we all know this is true because we've all done this. I've done this. That addictive, unhealthy food we view as a reward. Look at the words we use. We view it as a reward. It's a treat. It's been a treat since we were too young to even understand the concept, but it was used by our parents to get us to shut up, stop throwing tantrums, go for the little bit of pleasure. Here's a candy bar. Here's some ice cream. Here's more addictive stuff. And look at Tony the Tiger. It's great. You've been told since before you understood how to speak English. It's great. And we've all been addicts since birth. It's our way of life. And along comes a very small movement, a small group of people like us. And we finally get fed up with hurting and being obese and having all these chronic conditions, which are not diseases. They're not diseases. They are poisoning, slow poisoning. And by the time we finally begin to suffer the real effects of this slow poisoning, it's too late. 30, 40 years have gone by. We are too addicted, even to cure the addictions that we talk about and recognize and fund treatment programs and recovery programs. Alcohol and drugs are the two that I use as an example. But we still don't even talk about the sugar addiction, the addiction to carbs, which is at the heart of all of our lives now, except for a lucky few who didn't come up the way we did with the candies and the treats and the Tony the Tigers. And I hate to put a downer on everything, but until we start focusing on that and steering people's thoughts and analysis into looking at why is it the way it is? How did it get this way? Who did we listen to that so misled us over all those years? And I've long ago known I've tried my whole life to fix everything. I've tried to fix the world. I can't believe how naive I was when I spent all that time and energy writing a book 20 some years ago with what I thought was the real truth about everything. Went nowhere. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. No publisher wanted to publish it. I had to self-publish it. There was no audience for that kind of message. Nobody even thought they had a problem. And I think that's what we're facing right now. And yes, it's great that everybody's doing these things. I think it's fabulous that they're all so committed to this movie. And the best that any of us can do would be just basically to talk about it. And when we find that it did get into a theater somewhere or is being shown on Netflix, steer people to watch it. Talk about it. Keep talking about this addiction. Ask questions about how do I cure my addiction. Stand up in front of our meeting and say, hi, my name is Mitch and I'm a carboholic. How can I put this beast to bed finally once and for all? It has been destroying my life. And I didn't even realize that's what was happening. And now all we can do is talk about it. All we can do is talk about it. Peter says, I'm here just listening today. CB wasn't sure I was going to do after yesterday. All right, Peter, I'm sorry, my friend. I'm sorry sometimes if I come down on you a little bit. I certainly don't want you to be gone from this community. I just don't want to compete with you. That's all. I've told you that many times. I don't want to compete with you. I'm honest and open. I don't pull my punches. I hate this. I hate to even talk about this. And maybe you and I need to sit down. We can do it on a Zoom call and open up. And I'll tell you exactly what bothers me. I don't like to do it in public, Peter, because I like you and I respect you. But I keep falling back, Peter, on the fact that this is my deal. If I can't be the quote star of the show and focus on my message and not be co-opted with every answer to every question or every comment. Why do I bother? So please, Peter, don't come here and play the victim. This has been going on for months. Months. You have no idea. The emails I get about this situation. People write me and say, whose show is this? Is this the Papa Carnivore show? You have no idea how many times I come to your defense when people write me. You have any idea how many people don't watch my show anymore because they wrote me and said, I'm sorry, I can't get in a word in edgewise in the chat. I was hoping not to go here today, but that's just the way it is, my friend. I suggested that you start your own YouTube channel. You like to be in the limelight. That's not why I'm here. I'm not here to be a big star, to be the final authority on everything. I'm here to do my thing. Come here in the morning and be among my friends. Answer your questions. Not have to always come in second when I finally get around to them. That's all. It's as simple as that. But I don't want you to go away. Honestly, I like you and I understand you. So don't go away, Peter. Don't go away. Please. That would make me feel bad. Wait, I need to feel good. Yes. All right. Not going to let that spoil my day. I think everybody likes you, Peter. I think everybody likes you. But I still think, my friend, honest to God, start a YouTube channel, will you? Be the star. Do the work. Put up with the negatives that go along with this. Sorry I left that little chat up there. Anyway, what time is it? Wow, we've been doing this for almost an hour already. Where the hell did an hour go? I didn't even get started yet. Holy cow. I'm still saying good morning to people. I had some show notes, I think. Let me see. And Jane. Wow, thank you, Jane. I've forgotten all about buying coffees, but Jane bought me 2 coffees. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let me see what Jane says. It's such a treat to watch your show while having morning coffee. So good to see you on your porch again, getting to enjoy your cigar. Thanks for always being you, Mitch. Oh, man, who else would I be? Who else would I be? Thank you, Jane. That was so sweet of you. Thank you. And for anybody else that might be interested, I guess I have to give that little shameless plug. Let me copy and paste that into the chat here. Let's see. Paste. Here's a link if you want to show me some love or not. It's totally up to you. I always, however, appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Gary Noslo says, Papa Carnivore, aha, I knew it. You guys are conspiring for more views. I don't know what you're talking about there, Gary. I don't conspire with anybody for anything. I do my own thing here. I do my own thing. If you guys don't know that about me, I don't follow or take my cues from anybody, not the biggest stars on YouTube. I'm too old to be a star. I don't want to work that hard. I don't want to work that hard, guys. I want to help people. I want to share what I discovered. Not what I learned from the other guys, but what I discovered myself that finally cured my addiction, saved my life, cured all my problems, took my pain away, took my excess weight away. Whether it extends my life or not, I don't know. But I have my own philosophy, and my philosophy is a lot like Kiltz's. And I watched this morning, and I watched when he answered questions. And most of the answers to his questions, when people said to him things like, do you worry about this? Do you worry about that? My creatine levels are a little high. What's your opinion on that? And he would say, I don't know. I don't measure it. I said, attaboy, Kiltz. Attaboy. Well, what are your numbers? I don't know. I don't worry about my numbers. Attaboy, Kiltz. Well, how do you know you're getting enough of this or that? He says, I don't care. I eat the meat. I move a little bit. He believes in God. Life is good. That has been my philosophy since before I ever even heard of Dr. Robert Kiltz. And it's probably been his philosophy since before he heard of me or Curry. That is how you do carnivore. You live your life, not by the numbers, not by somebody else's opinion on what your numbers should be. You don't worry about any of that stuff. You know if you're doing it right because your inflammation is low. You know that because things don't hurt. You feel good. You have energy. You have clarity of thought. Live your life. Eat the meat. It is that simple. It's so simple that that's what all of the cavemen did. I know it was a funny commercial. What would a caveman do? Well, cavemen didn't buy car insurance, so those commercials didn't really apply. But that's what a lifestyle is. It's not measuring your ketones and your blood sugar 5 times a day. It's not signing up for every challenge, paying money to be part of this program or that program or the other program. That is not what a lifestyle is. Everybody is selling you the answers out there. You don't need to buy any answers. You need to keep it simple. Don't sweat the small stuff. Recognize that your problem is you're an addict. Do the few simple steps that can get you over that hump and give you the ability to control your addiction, and your life will change like mine has. And you can say, and Curry says the same thing, but I've been doing it longer than Curry. Curry's at 700 something days. I'm pushing 1,000 days right now without a single cheat bite, a single cheat, a single falling off the wagon. And if you want to give other people advice, pay your dues first. Pay your dues. Put the time in. Put the commitment in. Find out what really works, not just what other people say works. Find out for yourself. And when you get to the point where you can say, I have not eaten a gram of a plant for almost 1,000 days, you may or may not be qualified to give people advice, but at least you have a story about how you did it. And for the first time in your life, something worked that you've been striving for over 50 years that always failed before. But don't be like all of these carnivore YouTubers every month who put out a video. I fell off the wagon. I stumbled. Poor me. You have not discovered yet for yourself reality and what works, or you would not be falling off the wagon every month. And if you fell off the wagon within the past 6 months, I'm sorry, my friend, you're not qualified because you haven't discovered the real truth yet about how it all works. You shouldn't want or need to fall off the wagon. The fact that some of you still do means you have not figured out for you how to do it correctly yet. And correctly is so simple and so uncomplicated. Impossible to do in this day and age where you can sit for 10 hours a day and listen to everybody tell you how to do it. And when I listen to Kelsey and Curry, and when you listen to me, you get one message. And that one message is, eat meat. Don't eat plants. Period. End of story. Eat fat meat. Eat fatty meat. You can fine tune it a little bit. You can learn a little bit about fat to protein ratios and things, but you don't need to measure it. You'll just know. You'll know because your body gives you clues. And you get clues every time you go to the bathroom as to whether you're doing it correctly. And how you feel is a clue. How you feel. Look, they make a doctor go to medical school and do a residency. By the time they're done, they got 10, 15 years of their life invested in an education to learn how to do it wrong. Learn how to do it wrong. Learn all the propaganda, misinformation. Fall in line with all the agendas out there designed to keep us sick and fat and on their program for life, along with the associated money flow that comes from all of our insurance. We come here every morning for a reality check, basically. It's what it is for me. My reality check every day is, did I have a thought of a donut yesterday? And the answer is no, and has been no for years. So I know without a shadow of a doubt, something I'm doing as an addict is really working. And trying to put that message out there so that people don't overcomplicate things, don't worry about things. As hard as I work not to worry about an LDL of 450, I don't worry about it. I don't worry about it. Listen, I know that I could cut that down 70% tomorrow if I just started eating a bunch of shit Oreos every day. Nick Norwitz proved that to me. So yes, high carb diets mean low cholesterol. Perfect. Eat the diet, eat the carbs, get sick, get diabetes, get heart disease, get all that. But man, you're going to be healthy. Your numbers look great. Compared to what, Doc? Compared to what? Common sense. Things have to make sense. Curry and Kelsey were talking about The fact that people live it only in the now and that their lifespan seems like forever. And they forget history. And Curry came up with a book that was written 80 years ago that extolled the virtues of meat. Well, of course. Of course, but CB sent me a book from 1913 that extolled the virtues of Crisco. There's books that extol everything. How do you know which is correct or which isn't? You go back further. You go back in history. You go back hundreds of thousands of years, millions of years. You accept the fact of where we came from, of how we became who we are, of how our chemistry developed over eons of time, and what the proper nutrition was that allowed all of our ancestors to live long enough to reproduce. And that's what you mimic. And you add another couple of common sense, logical things, is that we are not plants, we are animals. We are built of animal stuff. We can live off of plants, but not with the current physiology we have, because we have transformed over the past millions of years from a herbivore with all the digestive machinery necessary to turn plants into fat and meat. And we are destined now and supposed to eat the animals that eat the plants. That's just how it developed over millions of years since we came out of the trees. And we did come out of the trees 7, 8 million years ago. And you have to accept the reality that our science has discovered the path that our ancestors took from that long ago to become the animal that we are today. These are the things that everybody has to have some kind of belief in. Some kind of belief in. I'm not answering a lot of questions today here, but I am pontificating. Oh, let me run down and take a quick look at the chat. Let me take a quick look at the chat here. James. James agrees with me about daylight savings time. Yeah, I wish we'd stop doing that. We'd stop doing that. Hey, Tuka. Tuka's here. How you doing? Hello, boss. Just had meat between the billiards games in a competition. Good for you. I hope you win. I hope you win. Steve Studley says, is Peter okay? Don't know. I think I hurt Peter's feelings. Sorry, Peter. Oh, I guess I did. I guess I did. Sorry about that, Peter. Don't want to hurt your feelings. Don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. See, Sandy says, Peter, it's not the same without you. No, it probably wouldn't be the same. That's probably true. And P says, question, are you going to try a cigar? In fact, thank you for reminding me. It went out. It went out. I must have pissed off a lot of people today. We don't have a very big crowd, only 122 people here this morning. People may be mad at me because I hurt Peter's feelings. If there's nothing else you guys can't, if you can expect from me, one thing you can expect from me is honesty, and I don't blow air up people's skirts. I try to be open about my feelings, and if something bothers me, I have to talk about it. I have so many friends out there. Thank you, my friends. Thank you so much. I'm still happy. I'm still feeling great this morning. I'm still loving the warmth of this sunlight in my face. Bacon and eggs await after I'm done here today. I have a really, really nice ribeye that I took out for dinner tonight. It's Sunday. I don't really have any work to do. It's one of those days that sometimes you just got to sit, take stock of your life, and reinforce the conclusion that, it's not bad. Life is good. Not bad. Not bad at all. And you got a lot of friends here, Peter. You're getting a lot of support from these people. And I certainly find nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. Hey, Jonathan in Alaska, 6 a.m. time for my morning coffee with Mitch Fitz. Yes, welcome, Jonathan. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Lori says, light your cigar and play us some happy music, please. All righty. You got it. Steve Sudley says, good morning, Jonathan. Don't see a lot of questions, but that's okay. Tina's here. How you doing, Tina? Good to see you. Good to see you here this morning. Zombified. Long COVID protocol. Okay. Good luck, he says. Yeah, good luck. I don't think I had COVID. I think I just had the flu. I don't know because I've never had a COVID test, nor do I care. What am I going to do if they find out that I got something? I'm going to turn myself over to them, let them treat me and feed me. Oh, you're going to have to drag me into a hospital kicking and screaming before that happens. Smoothie says the aroma is wafting through his speakers. That's a new feature of YouTube. Smell-o-vision. Fabulous, isn't it? And I try to only smoke good cigars so that it's a pleasant aroma when it comes through your speakers. Good to see you guys saying hello to each other. All right. A little shot of happy music for everybody. I'm up to 10 o'clock in the chat, only 45 minutes behind. I need to run faster. Here's a question from Lizzie, QQQ. If we have weight to lose, we shouldn't have much fat unless the stool needs it. Kiltsy kind of addressed that question with the same philosophy that I have, and that is, don't focus on weight loss. Not with carnivore. Carnivore is not, even though you do lose weight on carnivore, it's not a weight loss diet. Your goal is not numbers on a scale or whether you can fit into a bathing suit. Your goal is to cure the poisonous effects of all the plants you've been eating all your life and switch your metabolism and your normal way of living to primarily a fat metabolizing animal instead of a sugar metabolizing. You know this is working by your hunger and your cravings, which will decrease when you finally convince your poor sugar-riddled brain that you're not going to die without the sugar every day. You don't need it. You never did need it, only in times of famine. And that's why we have so many fabulous mechanisms designed to make us fat. It is a priority of the human body because we didn't always have 7-Elevens and supermarkets. There wasn't always an endless supply of food just a short drive away. We had to work for our food. We had to get out of bed and sharpen a spear and go out and hunt for it, or forage through the ground for grubby things that don't resemble anything that we call fruit or vegetables today. We had survival was our greatest challenge, and that survival meant being able to store as much energy as possible, which is what addicted us to sugar in the first place, because that's what sugar did. It gave you an imperative to gorge on it, to eat every bit of it you could find so that your body could turn it into fat and store it away for both the times of famine or hibernation or any combination of those things. There was no such thing as endless food. We developed all of these things that haunt us today because they were the reason we survived in times when there wasn't food. And now there's food everywhere. There's food constantly. But we still have the same physiology and the same programming running the machinery. We still get addicted to the sugars because that's what enabled us to survive and force us to hunt for the sugars all the time, to always keep gorging on them, to never having our appetites satiated by the sugars. And we all got fat. And then we got Glamour magazine and all the other stuff, and skinny supermodels, and we were taught that you're not a good human being if you're carrying too much weight. You're not pretty enough. You're not good enough. You're a sloth. You're lazy. You're not working hard enough. You're no good. You should be ashamed of yourself. And that's been hammered into us ever since we were children. We're ashamed of carrying extra weight, which, as far as nature is concerned, in so many cases, is the main goal: to never starve to death. To always have gas in your tank, to never run out of gas in the middle of the desert. Doesn't matter if there's a gas station on every corner, which is what we have now. So we're stuck with this programming and all the physiology designed to optimize our fat and make us as fat as possible, and capitalize on the fact that the carbohydrates and sugars are there, and we're supposed to just gorge ourselves on them when they're there, because that prepares us for the famines that never come. But that's still doesn't convince us that they won't ever come, because we're still running on the same programming we did 50,000 years ago. Who knows what will happen to the human race if we survive and don't change our ways? Our physiology will change over time, over thousands of years. And our machinery will change, and we will evolve into yet a different kind of animal. And maybe we will survive, and maybe it won't be important for us to eat meat anymore, because maybe we will evolve and generate all these new chemical pathways that allow us to eat these huge quantities of sugar and not kill ourselves in the process. But none of us will see that in our lifetime. Meanwhile, we're still being bombarded every day with pictures of pretty people playing volleyball on the beach while they're drinking their Diet Coke, or working out in the gym, or getting their weight loss injections and everything else. And the simple reality is, don't worry about your weight. Your weight will be what your body wants it to be. Eat the right food. Don't micromanage your diet. Eat fatty meat. Eat bacon. Eat eggs. Eggs have exactly the right amount of fat in them. You don't have to measure things or worry about it. Bacon has pretty much the right amount of fat. Fatty beef has the right amount of fat. And if you're eating lean beef, add some fat to it. And if your stools float, you have adequate fat in your diet. If you have diarrhea, you're eating too much fat. If you're constipated, you're not eating enough fat. Simple. Keep your eyes open when you're in the bathroom. I know that's not a pleasant subject, but that's how easy this is to do. Just eat the meat. Eat 1 or 2 meals a day. Don't snack. You won't want to snack after a while. But the key, the most important thing that anybody can learn, the most important thing that anybody can learn is don't try to micromanage your health. Micromanage the food you put in your mouth. That's it. That's all you can do. And make sure that the food you eat is what your body needs, and that's meat. So don't eat plants. Kelsey and Curry also were asked about keto. Keto is a bridge at best, in my opinion. A transition to wean yourself off of plants. If you don't eat plants, you can't be keto. Ever thought about that? If you don't eat plants, you can't be keto. The only sugar you can possibly find in the animal kingdom is dairy. And the dairy has the lactose in it for the babies because they need a certain amount of help with glucose and sugars when they're babies, primarily to make more fat. Because babies are pretty much in ketosis from the time they're born until we start feeding them a diet primarily of sugar, grains, and seed oils, and poison the hell out of them before they're 3 months old. But once a kid grows to a certain point, we're not supposed to be eating dairy anymore. The dairy gives us that sugar and casomorphines in cheeses and things that are addictive because 50,000 years ago, they helped us survive famines. They helped get sugar into us. But in our society today, I'm sorry, adult human beings do not need milk. Not only don't they need cow's milk, but they certainly don't need soy milk, almond milk, or any of these other plant milks. And I've always wondered about that. I have never seen anybody milking a soybean plant. I've never seen anybody milking an almond. We can call it, because it's white and liquid, we can call it milk. It's not milk. The thing in milk that's the most beneficial to any living thing that still consumes it after infancy or early childhood is the fat that it contains and the cholesterol. Same thing with eggs. Same things with eggs. The one thing you don't find in eggs is a lot of carbohydrate. You find a trace, because that's all that baby chicken needs to become a chicken from all that yellow goo that's in there. Everything in the world that builds a living chicken is trapped inside an egg. Nothing from the outside comes in. There's no umbilical cord to an egg. There's no opening to the outside world. There is only a bunch of yellow goo encased in a shell of calcium and other minerals that never sees the light of day until a living chicken is constructed and pokes through the outside and is born. Everything in that chicken, everything needed to build a life, to build a living machine is contained in that yellow goo. And that yellow goo has everything that we need as well. That's why sometimes it's referred to as nature's vitamin pill. So your question, if we want to lose weight, don't try, Lizzie. I know in this world it's all about looking good, looking fit, looking fabulous, attracting the boys. It's very, very, very important. We're conditioned that way. We're immersed in that society where unless you're walking around with a glass of wine in your hand, you're not living. You're just not living life. You don't believe me? Watch TV, watch any movie, any TV show, anything, any sitcom, anything. The women are always heading for the wine. The men are always heading for the bottle of beer. Life, I mean, that's just life's necessities, isn't it? Isn't that the way it's presented to us? You don't have that drink in your hand. You're missing out on life. You're missing out on life. If you don't have that drink in your hand, or you're a woman and you don't have a bottle of wine at the ready at all times, what is in that wine? Alcohol and sugar. That's it. Oh, they can talk about the magic of tannins, polyphenols, and all that stuff. They are all poisons. You don't need any of them. We've been so conditioned. We are Pavlov's dogs, all of us. The best message I can put out there that took me 50, 60 years to discover is drop out. Unplug yourself from the matrix because we're all plugged in and feel the need to conform to what everybody tells us. To what everybody tells us is the way we should live and where we should get our pleasure and the things that we should avoid that are bad for us. We are so brainwashed. We are so brainwashed. It's pathetic. And when somebody's brainwashed, you can't talk logic and common sense. You just can't. They have developed what is known as an ideology. It is their base core set of beliefs. We all have one. We all have an ideology of some sort or other. And the world is always out to commandeer our ideology, insert their agenda into it so that they can use us for their means. It's everywhere. You just have to open your eyes and look around. I can't fix the world, neither can you. But you can fix yourself by recognizing the ideology of our culture and where we're supposed to go to find our pleasure and acceptance. And that is, we need to be thin and pretty and have a glass of wine in our hand and a Diet Coke when we're out there playing volleyball in our bikinis. That, my friend, is the American dream anymore. It's kind of silly. Don't worry about your weight. Your weight will normalize. What normal is anybody's guess. Normal is a word that's way overused. I don't think there's any such thing as normal. There is only what is optimal for each one of us individually. I never thought my optimal weight would be as low as it is. Mid 130 pounds for a 5'10" man who's been fat all his life. But I didn't consciously try to get to this weight. It was never a goal of mine. I just forgot about it. I just stopped weighing myself. I stopped worrying about it. And this is where I ended up. And for me, I think it's kind of optimal. People tell me, you're too skinny, you need to put on weight. I say, how? Why? How would I put on weight if I even wanted to? What am I going to do, start eating ice cream and pizza again? yeah, I'll put on weight and end up being a cripple like I was almost, with rheumatoid arthritis in every joint in my body and all kinds of gut and stomach issues. Because you think I'm too skinny? I'm not likely to have a famine. And if I have a famine, the world's going to have bigger problems. That means all the grocery stores have run out of food. I can't keep preparing myself for the famine that's coming, because because 50,000 years ago it came because there were no grocery stores. But we're still doing that every day. We're still compelled to prepare ourselves for the big famine by gorging on sugar so our bodies can turn it into fat. And the evidence that that's true, look around. Open your eyes, look out there. What do you see? 70% of the people are obese. Obviously, nature is winning. It's working. It's compelling us to eat that crap. And there's no shortage of sociopaths running big companies that not only provide it for us, but make it even more addictive, more tasty, to give us more pleasure. More pleasure. CB's a smart guy. CB's a smart guy. I like reading CB's comments. You're absolutely right, CB. I'm so glad you're here. You're a good friend. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. Listen to this. No Slow says to CB, Alabama police force put on leave after grand jury says it operated like a criminal enterprises. Glad to hear that you weren't involved. Yeah, there is so much stuff being uncovered now, being exposed, so much fraud, so much corruption. Wow, wow. I mean, it's just incredible. And they're fighting back like rats on a sinking ship. It's crazy. And the turmoil that's going to ensue in the next year is going to be fabulous. And I hope that common sense somehow prevails. People stick to their guns. People stop believing the crap that's jammed down their throats. DS-111, there's already one theater for Curry's documentary. Yeah. And like I say, I do not want to put a damper on their enthusiasm. Why would I? I'm right there with them. If I can do something to help without having to donate $100,000, which I don't have, I'll be happy to. I'll be happy to help in any way I can. I'll talk it up. I do that every day. I come on here. Wow, wow. I see DS-111 bought me a coffee. Mitch, information in progress. Thank you so much, DS-111. Thanks so much. Appreciate that. I appreciate that. And yes, Jane. I got an email. I get email from Alan. I won't tell you his last name, but I get a lot of emails from Alan. Alan sends me emails all the time. Can you be addicted to some carbohydrates, but not all? A carbohydrate is a carbohydrate. You're either addicted to them or you're not. I don't believe that you can be selectively addicted. You may not be addicted to broccoli in that form of broccoli, but I do believe that doesn't take too long to break down into carbs. And for that reason, yeah, you might be addicted to it. I think the higher glycemic sugars are the most addictive. Anything made out of grains, especially highly processed grains, and the finer they grind the flour and the sugar, the faster it gets absorbed, and the more of a blood sugar jolt you get, and the more of a dopamine hit I think you're going to get, and the more pleasurable it's going to be, which is why people would rather eat donuts than broccoli. But there's not a lot of carbohydrates in broccoli. But why would you want to eat something that just tastes so bad? Vegetables. I don't like vegetables. I never did. Babies don't like vegetables. You know, babies don't like vegetables when they pop out of the chute. They'd rather munch on a nice rib. Look at Ken Berry's kid. That kid just went nuts for these, gnawing meat off a bone. That's natural for a baby human. Helps them cut their teeth. Gives them nourishing food. Not grains, seed oils, and sugars that make up the baby formula they feed these people. They may as well call that addiction in a bottle, because that's what it is. So, I'm still looking down. I'm still looking down the chat. Everybody's cheering Peter up. Good to see that. Peter says, why would anybody think I'm trying to compete with Mitch when he has helped me so much? Can I just leave that one out there? Let everybody answer that for themselves. Peter, pains me to read some of the things you're writing in here. I'm sorry, my friend, didn't mean to hurt you. Don't want to hurt you. Gary says he hates it when I pick out a comment without context. That's the best I can do, Gary. I try to read all these comments. Richard Williams, how you doing there? I'm still with you, old fart. Glad to hear that, Richard. Glad to know I still got a few friends out there that I haven't hurt their feelings or pissed off completely. Looks like Peter's decided to not be with us anymore. Solution is very simple. Since Mitch somehow sees me as competition, I will go. Take care, everyone, and I truly wish you all well. Okay, Peter. You're always welcome here, my friend. Always welcome. If you weren't welcome, I would have banned you from this channel a long time ago. Sorry you feel that way. There are 100 other YouTube channels out there. No shortage of chats. Okay. Sorry we had to get to that point. Sorry we had to get to that point. CB says, thank you, Mitch. CB, thank you, man. Thank you. For everything. For everything. Greg Smith, hi, Greg. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's way past time, but I'm just going here. I'm still going. I'll keep going. What else I got to do? I got a cigar. I got sun in my face. I got sunshine on a cloudy day. Sounds like a song, doesn't it? I got sunshine. Yeah. Be a great song. We could call it My Girl. Perfect. Perfect. You never know when a great idea is going to come up. And I still got hot coffee here. Wow, wow, wow. With my warmer. Not a lot of questions today, but a lot of drama. Oh, we've got the drama here. Yeah, CB says, the show must go on. We love Peter and everybody. That's true. That's true. And 11:09, have I hit the bottom of the chat? I have. Here we go. An important question from Timothy Askew. Says, cigar inquiring minds want to know what brand of cigar you got there. I have a Perdomo Fresca Churchill Maduro. A very nice little cigar, relatively inexpensive, well built, burns good, great flavor. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Robbie Autry says, it's all good, Mitch. Onward and upward. Light 'em up. Yes, sir. Mama Bear, how you doing? Good to see you. My sister tells me I need to put more weight on in case I get sick. I suspect she's justifying her own weight. No, you know what? Again, I did watch that replay from Kelsey and Curry this morning, and Kelsey talked about that, and I believe, and I agree with him. I believe that the reason that it doesn't hurt to carry a little extra weight is in case you get really sick, because your body needs some reserves. My body fat, even at my lightweight, is still around 13-14%. I could still pinch a certain amount of fat around the middle. I don't want to be skin and bones. And I did fine. I did fine over the course of this past couple weeks being sick with this flu, and got over it. Even though my appetite diminished a little bit, I still managed to eat plenty of food. And I feel better. If I get cancer, yeah, maybe it'd be okay. It's easy. I could always fatten myself up. All I got to do is diving right back into the addictive foods. Man, I put on 40 pounds in a month or two. It's incredible how fast I gain weight, how long it takes me to lose it. I've been through that cycle so many times in my life. So many times. So many times. CB Carmack, Peter is gone now? Let's say things to piss him off so he has a reason to come back. Joke, come back, Peter. Thanks, CB. Thanks for that. Thanks for that. Thank you for that. I didn't want to chase Peter away. Honestly, I never wanted to chase Peter away. What I don't want is for people to use my channel to build themselves a reputation as an expert. I don't know, is that wrong for me not to want to do all this work, to be here every morning, to try and help and motivate so that people can monopolize the discussion in the chats on my channel? When I look at the chat count every day, Peter is always, hands down, the most prolific poster in the chats. There are times when I go through the chats, just trying to get through your chats, where there are so many posts from Peter that I can't even get to anybody else's posts. And when I do, I see that it's Peter that is monopolizing the conversation with everybody nonstop from the beginning of the stream until not. And that's why I kind of feel like I end up competing with Peter for your attention. I'm sorry. I've tried to talk to him about that. I've tried to make him aware of it without embarrassing him. I'm tired. I've constantly made little snide remarks about, well, Peter got to that question first. And nobody just won't take a hint. I've had in-depth conversations with friends of this channel. It's been suggested that I just ban Peter completely because he is not allowing me to do what I want to do here. And that is inject my thoughts, my theories. I'm by virtue of the way that I have to do this and go through the chat, I'm always late to the party because I got to keep the ball rolling. I got to keep the ball rolling. I have lost some of the most valued followers to my morning live streams. Certain people that are now just conspicuous by their absence because they can't compete with Peter in my chat. I'm sorry, Peter. Never meant to hurt your feelings. Jemet says, Mitch, please call and talk to Peter privately. Peter is not competing with you. Oh my God, we will talk in this community. Call him privately. Don't ban him. I didn't ban Peter. I never will ban Peter. Peter's welcome here. Peter can come in here. But please, Peter, please, I've asked you, I've begged you, slow down. Slow the hell down. You don't need to be. Every other entry in the chat does not need to be you. I have been trying to, through subtle hints for months, get that point across to you. Nobody should dominate any chat with the volume of interactions that commandeer my efforts and everything I'm trying to do and have a community here, not the Papa Carnivore show. And that's all I'm going to say about it. I'm done. Peter, I'm done. If you want to come back, you're welcome. If you don't come back, best to you. Best of luck. Be the moderator over on Kiltsy's channel and spread your knowledge and expertise. Absurd that we have to be going to places like this. Sandy says, don't scream, Mitch. Ugh. All right, my friends, I'm going to call it a day with that one. I'll be here tomorrow morning. I hope you come back. I hope Peter comes back. I appreciate everybody that hangs in here with me. I appreciate your friendship, your support. I want to help. That's all I want to do. So I want to help. This is hard to do. Mitch, don't be a bully, says Susan. Okay. And DS111 says, thank you very much, Mitch. Terry says, wow. Okay. I know a lot of you like Peter. I like Peter too. I shouldn't have to be going here. I didn't start this stuff today. Peter came in here looking for sympathy, and evidently he got some. I'm sorry. I can only apologize. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, Peter. I needed to reclaim my show, that's all. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I've been wrong before. I doubt it, but It's been pointed out to me so many times that I began to wonder why the hell I let it continue. But I do, and I have been. Sometimes it just creeps up on me, and especially during a particularly harried flurry of comments that I'm trying to get through to do what I do here and get it done within 2 hours. So for those of you who think less of me, I'm sorry, I can't do anything about that. For those of you who love me, thank you. I love you back. Tina says, good day, Mitch. See you in the morning. And I think on that note, I'm going to play a little happy music. I'm going to have a little more of my coffee. I hope I said something today that helped somebody somewhere. That's why I do this. And thank you, CV, for the encouragement. I appreciate that. Claudia Burkick says goodbye. You guys are both awesome. It's too bad. There doesn't have to be a conflict. It's not necessary. It's not necessary. But none of you know the backstory. None of you know what's really been going on. None of you know what I've heard from so many of you, kind of on the sly. Just thought you should know, Mitch, what's being said about you on all these other chats. Mitch, just thought maybe you're a little too trusting and maybe you need to find out who your friends really are. What a soap opera behind the scenes of trying to just be a little pissant YouTuber, trying to help people overcome carb addiction. None of you know that. None of you can know, and I'm not going to tell you. Just know it takes an awful lot to push me to being accused of being a bully. That's cruel. That's cruel. That's cruel. Tanya, love you, Mitch. I know. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you so much. Look, I know who my friends are. And I still consider Peter a friend, and I still think he admires me. I just need him to slow down a little. I don't know how else to say it. Slow down a little. Give me a chance to get through my chat without having to read every other chat of yours. I know that you like being popular. I know that you want to help people too, Peter. I just want you to slow down. I have said that so many times, trying not to offend you or drive you away or hurt your feelings. And I know you're still listening. A simple, tiny little request. Help me out. Slow down. So that I don't have to go through 3 times as many entries in the chat every morning. And I won't miss the questions. Just let this be my show. Please, that's all I ask of you. I want this to be my show. I want to be the guy that's helping the people that come to see me. That's all. It's as simple as that. If you guys hate me for that, Harry Dion, Super Chat $4.99. Thank you so much, Harry. Super sticker. Thank you. Thank you. Very validating. Thank you. Sandy Bly says, I wish Ellen was back to help. I miss her. I miss her too. I miss her too. And there's a reason that Ellen isn't around anymore. There's a reason why I will not have another moderator. And it's not Ellen. Believe me, Ellen and I have the greatest respect for each other. And I miss her. I miss her desperately to help me out on this show. But again, there's a reason why she couldn't keep doing this. And I'll leave it at that. So, my friends, let's call it a day. It's Sunday. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great day. Enjoy if you got beautiful weather, get out there and enjoy it. Nothing's changing here on the Old Guy Carnivore Morning Coffee with Mitch. I will be here tomorrow morning to be among the people that love me, and the people that don't love me probably won't be here. Thanks, everybody. Take the rest of the day off and eat meat.